Welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you, Rachie. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Justin. Thanks, Deborah. Thank you, Dennis. Hi, ears. Happy Thursday, everybody. How has your week been? Thank you, Tater Tot. Thanks for the hand hearts. Hi, Skrilla. James, thanks for the corn. Kim, thanks for the cozy cryptids. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry I was a little later than usual tonight. I have family in town, and I just got back a little bit later than usual, and then I was talking to my dad, and it was just got caught up. Hi, country kid. Welcome in. Hi, Lily. I saw that. You just sent it to me like a couple hours ago, right? I was driving back, actually, when I saw it. I can't wait to check it out. I haven't opened it yet, but it popped up on like my notifications. Yes, thanks, Kim. Thanks, Laura. Plus, my brother only comes home like twice a year, so it's nice to see him. We're not super close or anything, but I still like to see him and catch up with him. Sarge, what are you talking about? I'm live right now. Like, what are you talking about? Thank you, Kelly. That was really cute. Holly, thanks for the paper crane. No, we do not, Skrilla. I'm good, Forrest. How are you? Sure, we could have one. Hi, Danny. Nice to see you, Forrest. Welcome back. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Shells. Hi, Eric. Oh, I love the watermelon slide, Deborah. That's so cute. Ooh, there's a s'more. Thanks, Amanda. What's so good, Rachie? I haven't read it yet, Shorty, but I will. I'm excited. Oh, of course, James. Yeah, I couldn't stay for the whole time this time because I was hanging out with my brother, but I wanted to come in and say hi. Hi, Ash. Welcome back. Glad to have you here. Nice to see you. Hi, Craig73. All right, you guys, feel free to write your story requests in the chat in all capital letters, and I'll write them down, and then we'll do our first vote. That's really cool, Rachie. Did they turn out well? Okay, Robin, you can always send me story suggestions. I have a little notebook that I write them in. And I will say they are called suggestions for a reason. And some of them, it just depends on like what I'm in the mood for covering and at the time and what I get inspiration to write. So just because I haven't covered like one somebody sent me doesn't mean I won't in 3 months be like, you know what? I should pull out that one that I keep like a going list. So anytime you want to send them to me, I put them in my little green notebook. And then when I go through, because writing these every week isn't really as easy as you would think. So sometimes like I want a topic, like this week I wanted it to be something else, and I wrote 3 stories and I hated them all. So I was like, I'm gonna have to go with another one, and I went with Route 666 instead, or Route 666 instead. And I wasn't planning on doing that one this week, so it doesn't always go in the order I expect it to. It's more which one I write and like in time. So feel free to send them to me whenever you want, because I keep an ongoing little notebook of them. And I refer back to them every week to see which one I think should be next. Roses, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Look at Glossette pulling out a story that doesn't hardly ever get requested. Way to go. Oh wait, and so did Taylor. You guys just requested the same one. I love that. Yes, Sierra, I write these stories. Wilkins, probably. I'm not really sure, but I don't really want to read other people's work. You guys, what color should I make the banner that will make people actually read it? Any suggestions? Because I've changed it to like every color, and I swear to God, no one reads it, and it's literally moving across the screen in front of your faces. So like, what color do I need to make it? Can someone tell me? Thanks, lovely. Viola said, can you make parts of the letters blink? No, I wish. I can't. Yeah, John, it was just white. I just had it white for a week, and literally I've never had more people ask me the questions that are on the banner. So I was like, okay, clearly white is not the color. That's why I'm asking, because I thought white would be the best. I've had it pink, I've had it white, I've had it, I swear, every color. Yeah, that's a good point, guys. I guess I'm just being delusional, right? Oh, no problem, Mackenzie. Hope you're doing well. At all, Kim, at all. Thank you for the cute seahorse. Oh, that's okay, Joe. Or John Pelf. All right, you guys, I'm going to set up the first poll. Oh, no, go ahead, Voodoo. You can suggest one. Just write it in all capital letters. Yeah, Taylor, you're right. All right, you guys, I'm going to set up the first poll, and I will be right back. If you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little yellow sign, circle, with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow our beautiful porch. Oh, it's Joe, like Joanna. Oh, hi. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Joe. And I'll be right back. Thanks for the reposts, the shares, the tapping, and I'll be right back with the first poll. Hi, Miriam. Welcome in, cutie. How's that, guys? Is that better? Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate it, guys. I love you guys. Yeah, lovely. That's what someone else said too. Thank you, guys. I was just avoiding the red because I think it cheapens the look of my branding and the colors I like to, you know what I mean? It's so like not really the color that goes with my aesthetic. I'm not a red gal. And so I avoided red, but apparently I think that's going to be the only one that people look at. All right, you guys. The poll is ready. We have the names in the logbook. We have the frightful fireworks. We have the ancestor. We have the hide behind, and we have the crawl space. And yes, Sierra, it'll pop up in just 1 minute. There we go. It should show up right now. It is a blue box in the top left-hand corner. And you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story at a time. I love when lovely is spicy. It's my favorite. Who's it going to be, you guys? The name's in the logbook, which is also the Rain Crow Shelter. That's what it's called. Frightful Fireworks, the Ancestor, the Hide Behind, or the Crawl Space. Lovely. Trust me, I'm strategic with this one. For you. Viola, it's probably just hiding behind the hot pink stupid universe banner. Swipe out and come back in. Sometimes it disappears and comes back. Oh, yep, Kim just told you. I swear to God, that banner only pops up when I start a poll. It has to. That's it literally does. Thank you so much. Thanks, Maureen. That was so cute. It really does, right, Deborah? I'm not imagining it. It really does. Skrilla. Oh, that's funny, Skrilla. All right, you guys, and the winner is the ancestor. Hi, Matt. Welcome in. Matt, you've heard about the Porch Lore cabin in Tennessee, right? I'm pretty excited about it, in case you guys can't tell. I'm so excited. No, Anna, this is not the news story of the week. I didn't put it on the poll for the first poll because it's still new and people get mad if it's the first story because they miss it and they're like, did you already read the news story of the week? And so I just kind of waited. That's why I started reading it on Mondays after 12 because people used to get so mad if I read it early. I really can't, Justin. Yeah, down in Chattanooga. Okay. No. I'm going to a wedding in Chattanooga. Is it what? Lovely? Oh, the toilet paper slide. Is it toilet paper? I thought it was a cloud. Oh, you haven't missed it at all, Anna. Don't worry. Yeah, you haven't missed it. Oh, Heather. Okay, I'll put it on the next poll so you don't fall asleep. All right, guys, I'll be right back with the tale of the ancestor. Feel free to hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner. There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing with your friends helps too. And thank you to everyone who is tapping. Tapping the screen helps push us out to the algorithm. So does keywords. Throughout the night, you will see some of us, like Deborah and a few other silly sentences where they use keywords to help let the AI scanning us every 10 minutes know how to categorize us, because if it doesn't, it will categorize us as something random, and then it sends us out to those random people, and then they come in and troll us. So thank you so much to everybody who just randomly feels like writing some funny irrelevant words in the chat, like supernatural, paranormal, Bigfoot, Mothman, scary stories, bedtime stories, Sasquatch. Anything like that helps immensely. Yeah, lovely. You already missed it. Well, partially, yeah. We already watched most of it on Saturday. Like the whole Saturday this past Saturday was spent with it. And it's to be determined when season 2 is going to happen, right, Kim? Because Colin decided to announce that he doesn't believe in paranormal anymore, so we had to focus on that, right, Kim? Lovely. Don't act like you didn't remember. You purposefully, you're like, oopsie. Hi, Taylor. Thank you so much, Vinny. That was so cute. Hi, Zoot Zoot. That's okay, Zoot Zoot. You don't have to chat. I just wanted to say hi. Jeff, I already have a story on the Jersey Devil. Hi, Zaddy. Welcome to the porch. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the ancestor. For years, I've been digging into my family tree. Turns out, sometimes when you dig too deep, you get more than you expected. This story is about a trip my friend Jessica and I took not too long ago to track down some of my more elusive ancestors. But what we found, well, it was more than we bargained for. So I'd been tracing my family tree for nearly 5 years. What started as a simple free trial on Ancestry grew into something much deeper and much more extensive than anyone in my family ever expected. You see, my family isn't just your run-of-the-mill clan. We've got Mayflower passengers, Jamestown founders, Salem witches, and even folks like Wild Bill Hickok mixed in. And yes, even the famous Clan Fraser and Clan Mackenzie of Scotland. It's pretty wild and admittedly sounds made up, but nearly every branch of my family tree is dripping with history and mystery. One day, I came across an old diary someone had scanned into Ancestry. It mentioned a distant ancestor of mine, Annabelle Gray. She had settled in a tiny town in South Carolina, and I knew I had to go. The diary was filled with strange entries. Naturally, I roped in Jessica. She's the kind of friend who will jump in with both feet no matter how weird my idea gets. So we booked this adorable looking Airbnb. It was an old restored plantation house in the heart of nowhere, also known as Fairhope, South Carolina. Fairhope was, well, it was the kind of small town where the gas station is also the grocery store. When we drove in, we were greeted by folks staring at us like we were aliens. We arrived at the Airbnb just as the sun was starting to set. Now, this house was massive. It was an antebellum-style mansion with big columns and Spanish moss hanging from the giant oak trees. Just like something out of a Southern Gothic novel. It looked inviting, but also almost a little too perfect. After we unpacked, we went into town for dinner at the one and only diner. And that's where we met Tom, the local historian. Well, the self-appointed local historian. Tom was one of those folks who knew everything about everyone in town. And when he found out that I was there to research the Gray family, his eyes got wide. "Oh, you're staying out at the Hartley place, huh? You know, that house has seen its fair share of strange things." Jessica and I exchanged looks. Of course, we would accidentally book a haunted Airbnb without actually meaning to for once. Tom told us about the town's history and how the Hartley family who built the house had all but vanished by the early 1900s. As for my ancestor, Annabelle, rumor had it that she had been some sort of healer or wise woman. But the locals at the time just called her a witch. When we got back to the house a little later, as we pulled into the long driveway, I started to feel a little uneasy. The first night, nothing too wild happened actually. Just a few creaks and groans, but that's to be expected with an old house. But about 2 a.m. I woke up. And you know that feeling when your eyes are closed, but you can still just feel when someone is standing too close to you? It felt like that. I sat up, and for a split second, I swear I saw someone standing at the foot of my bed. But when I blinked, it was gone. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Marcia. The next day, Jessica and I hit up the local archives because I was determined to get to the bottom of Annabelle's story. So this archive was straight out of an old movie. Dusty shelves, crumbling papers, and that musty smell that made you feel like the past was just sitting there, waiting for you to open the right book. While I was elbow deep in family records, Jessica had decided to look up property records for the house we were staying in, just out of curiosity. And that's when she found something interesting. It turns out her great-great-grandfather had worked on the Hartley plantation as a carpenter. We looked at each other and how weird. Both of our ancestors worked where we were staying? What are the odds of that? But the more we dug up, the stranger it got. Annabelle had lived in the house for years, but there was no official record of her death or her grave. It was like she just disappeared. I've had a couple family members who just, I don't know, happened to be witches that record of them just disappeared. That night, things got a little more active. We heard footsteps in the hallway, and at first I thought it was just Jessica going to the kitchen for water or a midnight snack, but when I called out, I heard her voice answer from the other side of the house. She wasn't even near the hallway. Maybe we've got raccoons or something, but raccoons don't walk like people. The sounds were deliberate and slow, like someone was pacing in the hallway. So at some point, we finally decided to just do a little EVP session, to record any potential ghostly voices. Not that we really expected anything, but we figured we were here, why not? On playback, we heard a faint voice. Then it whispered just one name. Annabelle. The next day, we went back to Tom at the diner to tell him what we found, and he wasn't surprised. He said people had been hearing strange things in that house for years. Then Tom told us that Annabelle wasn't just some wise woman. She was believed to be connected to some of the old ancient magic that was tied to the land itself. Sounds familiar. Tom told us that when Tom told us, I could see Jessica's face go pale. She said that she had had dreams of a woman standing at the window of that house before we even got to town. And why didn't she tell me that? On the last night of our stay, it all came together. We were sitting in the living room just talking about everything we'd uncovered when the lights flickered. It wasn't the first time the power had acted up, though. Suddenly, we heard footsteps again, and the temperature in the room dropped. Jessica and I stood up, frozen, as a figure appeared at the end of our hallway. It was just a shadow at first, but then it materialized more, and it was her. It was Annabelle. Somehow I knew it was her. She didn't say anything, she just stood there looking at us. And then just as quickly, she disappeared. Thank you, Marcia. In the days that followed, we realized that Annabelle hadn't been trying to scare us, she had been trying to connect with me. Her life had been erased, her story buried, and maybe we could uncover the truth. Jessica and I left Fairhope with more questions than answers, but one thing was clear. We had stumbled upon something much bigger than just a little family tree. We found a legacy that we needed to look into, one that was still very much alive. And that's the tale of the ancestor. The stupid banners. Thank you. Thanks, lovely. You're the best. You always have my back. I know, that slide looks so fun, doesn't it? Thank you, Marcia. And thanks, Deborah. And thanks, Robert. Thank you, guys. Welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, my name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. That's so cute. Thank you, Sandy and Marcia. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. I do write and record all of these stories myself. Thank you, Bryce, for the corgi. Thank you, Jess, for the cozy cryptids. I do write and record all these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. If you just look for Porch Lore, you will find me. On my YT channel, I do have a playlist tab. If you click on that, there is a bedtime stories play. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Nova. There is a bedtime stories playlist. Matt, you're the sweetest. Thank you. And if you click on that, you can hit shuffle or play all, and you'll probably be out by like the second story. Yes, Matt, making it rain. Hi, little big walk. You only missed one story. Don't worry. You're right on time. What doll, Whitney? What doll? I don't have a doll story. Yes, Jenny, I did a Michigan story. I have the Michigan Dog Man. A couple weeks ago. How are you? KJ, you're so funny. You jogged, but you said I jogged with Bigfoot and lost, but what do you mean lost? Jogging is a leisurely activity. It's not a competition. Sandy, I'm so glad you're feeling better. Welcome back. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. If you guys could also hit that share arrow for me in the bottom right-hand corner, there is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch of ours. Thank you, Dennis, for the floating heart. Thank you, Taylor, for the clock it. Hi, Mark. Hi, oh so very ordinary. No, Mark, I'm on TikTok as well. I don't know what you're talking about. You see what? I'm still over there too. Not sure where you see that, because I'm literally live there right now. Nicole, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Whitney, I don't know what you're talking about. What's the same name? And Annabelle's like a super common old school name. Plus, Annabelle is literally just a Raggedy Ann doll. And I'm just sorry that I cannot find Raggedy Ann scary. I had a Raggedy Ann doll when I was a kid. Jose, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. But I've never understood the whole Annabelle thing. I think I have my own opinions. I have my own opinions about Annabelle. You keep picturing the doll in your mind. Why? Yeah, I know she's from The Conjuring, but she's literally a Raggedy Ann doll. And yeah, Gen X, all of my stories are recorded on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites, so you can listen to them whenever you want. Hi, Jen. Welcome to the porch. You have a Furby, James? Cool. Yeah, I guess it's people who, yeah, maybe it's people who are too young to know what Raggedy Ann doll was. Because I don't. It's like the same, it's like the generation that thinks Blair Witch was real. I found out recently that they don't know that that was made up. They think it was like a real legend that they made a movie about, but like, no, the filmmaker literally completely invented that. There's literally never a witch in those woods, and it was all made up. And like, I realized like it became lore. Like, people don't know that it's fake. No. And I had watched a whole damn YT interview where the guy had to go on and tell these kids, like, we literally made up the corn husk dolls when we were high. Like, he was literally like, we had meetings and just made this shit up. Like, straight up. And they were like, wait, what? And I was like, oh my God. And that's how folklore begins. Is someone makes some shit up and then give it 10 years and people have no long-term like memory or, people don't pass stuff on that much anymore to the younger generation. So they just they never hear that it's not real, which blows my mind. Yeah, it's 100% fake. Like, it's not even a movie about like a legend that existed there. The whole thing is made up. All of the locals are like, literally, they said that guy ruined their town. They were like, we never had a single spooky story in this town. We never had a witch lore. Like, he made it all up and used our town. And he says he did. He like, the people who made up the movie admit it. So that's what's so funny to me is like, we knew that at the time. It was just really controversial because it was the first like found footage style movie. We like, you know what I mean? We knew right after we all watched it, after like the premiere week, that it was right. They hyped it up like it was real, and then they told everybody it was fake. But that was like 20 years ago. So I'm like, wait, it's morphed into real? Holy. Yeah, isn't that wild? Yep. So the youngins think it's real. They think it's and we were watching on Kim's live one day, one of the investigators, and I can't remember, but they were like, this is like this is like the Blair Witch Woods. That's not real. That's not real woods. You're not in the Blair Witch Woods because that's made up. That's like going somewhere and going, this is Genovia. This is just like Genovia. And if you get that reference, thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Matt. My flames are friendly. Thank you, Blue. I appreciate that. Amy got my Genovia joke. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, you guys. There we go. Allison got it too. All right, you guys. We have the poll, and we have Route 666 featuring Skrilla, the news story of the week. We have Huggy Molly. We have the Mothman. We have the Goat Man. And we have the Melonheads. Who's it gonna be? Route 666. Huggy Molly. The Mothman. The Goat Man. And the Melonheads. Hi, Earthly Spectre. Wait, Blair Witch was 96 or 97? What? I thought it was like the early 2000s. Because 96 or 97, I would have been too young to watch it. There's, trying to think. I'll just have to give it a go. You might be right, but I must have watched it like later. I don't know. Oh, so it was 1999. Okay. So that's different than 96. So that's a big difference in terms of like whether you're old enough to watch scary movies or not. That jump from that 3-year jump, definitely 99 makes more sense. It was after in 2003. See, that makes more sense, Little Big Walk. That's the timeline I'm thinking. That makes more sense that it came out. Yeah, but they're saying 1999. Did like a second one come out in the 2000s? Did you party like it was 1999, Jeff? I always wonder about that. The people who says they graduated in 1999, did you guys party like it was 1999? Like I feel like that was such a good year to graduate because you got that song. We got it on bootleg. It was definitely before 2000. Okay. He said I did. I did. Jeff says I think so. He doesn't remember. Oh, really, Robin? Hi, Jamie. Hi, Jamie. We were talking about the Blair Witch and how this younger generation, it's turned into folklore and they don't know it's fake. They like think it's an actual legend of those woods and that somebody just made a movie about it. But like, like the whole legend is made up. And I couldn't believe that it's actually turned into folklore. We are old enough to where something we know isn't true has morphed into folklore. I know, I'm tired of getting older too. It's depressing. I'm like, Jesus Christ. And like, how does that much time go by that no one's told that? Like, how does it slip through the cracks? Like, it's not like we're writing, it's not like we're not writing stuff down. It's not like we don't have access to information. It's like, people, like, what's the point of an archive? People are just gonna not know shit in 20 years anyway. They're not gonna remember anything that happened not that long ago. It blows my mind. Yeah, Sherry. Yep. Not duped. They just think it's actually, like, they think that, I'm trying to explain it the right way. They know the movie was made and that it's a movie. They don't think it's actually a documentary, and they don't think it's actually found footage. They know it's a movie, but they think it's a movie based off of a real legend. And the Blair Witch was never a real legend. It was all completely made up. So, like, they think that those woods are actually haunted by a Blair Witch. Like that, like they think the folklore is real, not the movie. They know the movie's like, but they think it's about actual folklore when it's not. The guy who made the movie was like, we made up the corn husk dolls when we were on drugs. They literally admit that like it's all made up. And I'm like, damn. I know. I'm like, he probably feels really cool that he's like successfully created lore. Like in 100 years, you know that place is going to be called Blair Witch Forest and no one's going to remember anything. And it's going to be the most haunted place in the country. Yeah, they did, Scott. It was the first found footage movie. But that was 20 years ago. And that was the whole point of it, was to portray it as if it was real. That's the whole shock of found footage, just like Paranormal Activity and all of the others. But 20 years later, for like it to be lost in translation that was completely made up and to that be actual folklore now, and people are going to those woods. Kim and I watched an investigation where a kid went to those woods to try to contact the Blair Witch. And we were like, what? Steph, does it sound like the story already started? I'm literally talking to our community. Obviously, the story hasn't started yet. Like, listen. Okay, you guys, the winner is Huggin' Molly. That surprises me, to be honest. She never wins. No, mermaid, I didn't. All right, you guys, the winner of the poll is Huggin' Molly. The Haint of Huggin' Molly, and she's not mad now. This is like the first time she's not pissed because she won. We literally have a sticker for her because she loses so much that there's a Justice for Molly sticker because she always loses. So she's gonna be happy. Oh, he did? Oh, why? Why does he need Molly? And Zoot Zoot says, Blair Witch is real. I dated her. I believe you. I love that mermaid. I love that. I love that so much. I agree, Rock. He is my favorite cryptid. He's my absolute favorite. I call him the Zaddy of the cryptids. And I love him. He's my favorite. You are correct. He's the best one. The least interesting one is Sasquatch. Fight me on it. He's not a cryptid. He's a primate. Hi, Brooke Whitney. Yeah, Taylor, that's why he's Zaddy. He's the most caked out of the cryptids. Not poor Squatchy. He's like one of us, basically. He just isn't a cryptid. I just think he's a primate that is very elusive and possibly like lives in like cave systems or comes out of the portals in the caves. But that still doesn't mean he's a supernatural being just because he can go through a portal. His travel style might be paranormal or supernatural, but I think he's just a primate. Jade, Bigfoot's your type? I ain't got no type. Bad bitches is the only thing that I like. Just kidding. What's the equivalent to that? Bad bros is the thing that I like? No. No. Oh, Robin's got jokes. No, I haven't seen Cher yet. Baby, you want to read the comment section here because I'm telling you, the Porch Pals are hilarious. This is a party. It really is a party. I'm telling you, this is the funniest, coolest, most ridiculous comment section you will ever be in. So welcome. I know, Antiana. And the chat is flying. Hi, Antiana. All right, guys, while I pull up Molly, could you just hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner and the yellow circle that says repost? That puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow our beautiful porch. Sit back and relax. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the porch. Taylor, I'll put Taylor and also very ordinary. I'll put Mothman on the next poll too. Oh, thank you, Giggles. You're so sweet. Welcome back, Dan. Nice to see you. What, Jade? Why'd you say Devin? Hi, Mama Saurus. Welcome to the porch. What, Jade? What do you mean you didn't know? What do you mean you saw a cryptid 6 years ago and didn't know? How is that how is that a thing? I need more information. That doesn't make sense. Hi, Kendi. Welcome in, cutie. She just wants a hug, y'all. She just wants a hug. Who's gonna give her a hug? Oh, Giggles, you're so sweet. Tell your husband thank you and congratulations on being married. Congratulations, newlyweds. And her hugs won't kill you. They just make you black out and lose your memory and your nose bleeds. No big deal. Exactly. I value my ribs too. Kim says I'll pass. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the haunt of Huggin' Molly. I've traveled all over the South, chasing whispers and shadows. Some turn out to be the wind through cypress trees or a startled owl. But every once in a while, I stumble onto something that I can't just laugh off. This story takes place in Abbeville, Alabama. A place you might not notice on the map unless you're already looking for trouble or trying to avoid it. Now, Abbeville isn't big, but it's old. Settled in the early 1800s, it still wears the past like a wool coat in the summer, heavy and soaked through with memory. People there still speak in slow drawls, and you can get a plate of catfish bigger than your head for under $10. Thanks, Marcia. Or Marcia. Thanks, Robin. Oh, that's cute. That is so cute. Thank you, Robin. But what really drew me to Abbeville was a local legend that has stuck around for over 100 years. The tale of Hug and Molly. Now, depending on who you ask, Molly's either a grieving mother, a witch, or some kind of cryptid elemental that stalks the streets after dark. But everyone agrees on two things. She's tall, like 7 feet tall. And she wraps you in a death grip hug so tight that it knocks the breath out of you. Thank you, Iacona. She doesn't kill you, but you'll remember her for the rest of your life. Local kids are warned that if they stay out past sundown, Hug and Molly might grab them up and scream in their ear. I had heard the story years ago, and I always figured it was one of those moral tales meant to scare kids into getting home by supper. But I never forgot it. And last October, while tracing old Civil War routes through southern Alabama, I decided to make a stop in Abbeville and see if the place had anything left of the legend. I pulled into town just before sunset. The streets were quiet, too quiet for a Friday night. Downtown was a cluster of old brick buildings and faded murals that looked like they hadn't been touched since the 1940s. Thank you, Wilkins. Thank you, Robert. Thanks, Nova. Thanks, Jay. I parked near the library, a gorgeous old building that still had gas lanterns flickering out front. And I walked toward the courthouse square. Thanks, Iacona. And I got lucky. A local historian named Bobby was closing up the museum and offered me a private look inside. The museum itself was one room, barely big enough to turn around in without knocking over a display. There were Civil War artifacts, some dusty family Bibles, and a glass case dedicated entirely to Hug and Molly. Thank you, Deborah. Thanks, Jess. Thanks, Amy. The case held newspaper clippings, a child's bonnet, a charcoal sketch from 1914 that made the hair on my arms rise. It showed a towering woman in white, with elongated arms and eyes that seemed huge like saucers. Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Dova. Her mouth was wide and almost smiling, but in a way that made you feel like smiling back would be a big mistake. Bobby told me the sketch was done by a boy named Samuel Gaines, who claimed he saw her one Halloween night, and after that, he never spoke again. Robin. He died in a sanitarium up in Montgomery in 1938. Bobby said the story always resurfaces when the weather turns cool and the air smells like smoke. Now, I've heard my fair share of ghost stories, and I've had a few strange experiences that keep me awake at night, but I hadn't really expected to feel anything in Abbeville. But something about that drawing, about the cold stillness inside the museum, made me decide to stay the night and see if I could walk the route that people claimed Molly used to follow. Thank you, Marcia. According to the locals, she favored Kirkland Street, right near the old carriage trail that led out of town into the woods. I checked into a little roadside inn and I waited for the clock to strike midnight. It was the kind of night where the fog doesn't roll in, it seeps in. Everything felt damp and muffled. I walked slowly, inadequate flashlight in hand, down Kirkland Street. The houses were spaced wide apart, dark and shuttered. It was the kind of quiet that makes you wonder if anyone else is even alive in the whole town. And then I heard it. Not footsteps, but something softer like dragging cloth. I turned off my inadequate flashlight and I stood still. My ears strained as I held my breath. The sound came again, this time closer. Not in front of me, but behind me. I turned and I saw nothing. Just as I finally exhaled, there came a strange pressure. Like the air itself grew heavy. My chest tightened and I suddenly felt ice cold. And not the kind that creeps up your arms, but the kind that shoots straight through your ribs. I looked up and there she was. A silhouette, 7 feet tall. Her head tilted just slightly as she took a step toward me. I couldn't move. I should have screamed. I should have run, but all I could do was stand there in a trance while she came closer. Her arms opened wide, not quickly, but in a slow, almost loving way. And then she was around me. I didn't feel hands. I felt pressure, like being vacuum sealed into a memory that I didn't want. It was like being hugged by grief itself. And then just beside my ear, she screamed. Not a word, not a name, just a pure, mournful wail that blasted straight through me. I dropped to my knees and the scream faded into the fog. And when I opened my eyes, she was gone. I staggered back to my car. I don't remember unlocking it or the drive to the inn. I don't even remember getting into my room, getting into bed, or falling asleep. I don't really remember anything after she hugged me. I was in some type of fog for the rest of the night. The next morning, I woke with a nosebleed and my ribs ached like I had been tackled. I went back to the museum and Bobby told me one more story before I left. In 1909, a woman named Molly Langford lost her only child to scarlet fever. They say she went mad with grief. and wandered the streets at night for weeks, begging people to let her hold their babies. When she died, folks said they could still hear her calling out for her son. But others think Molly's not human at all. Some say she is an elemental entity tied to the land itself. But whatever she is, I believe she's real. And if you ever find yourself near Henry County, Alabama, especially in October, be careful walking after dark, because Huggin' Molly might be looking for someone else to hold tight. And that's the tale of the Haint of Huggin' Molly. Robin, did I say Alabama? I probably did. My accent comes out the most in Southern words when I have to say Southern words. Alabama. Yeah, don't say wash. Thank you, Liv. I really appreciate that. Hi, Jade. Yes, Robin, you need to go up to Cahaba too. For sure. Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, people get weirded out that I can read the chat and the story at the same time. Oh, I'm so glad, Liv, and good luck with your auditions. Thank you, Jade. Thank you, Nahima. Nahima? Welcome in. Dova, thank you for the galaxy and the rainbow slide. And Lana, thanks for the Edison lights. Sunshine, thank you for the coral. And Lana, thanks for the pearl chime. You guys, thank you. And Marcia, thank you so much. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, that was cute, right? Thank you so much, Sunshine. I appreciate it. You guys are so kind. All right, you guys, welcome in. Oh, thank you for the fireworks, Levi. I love the colors they chose for those. I like how they made them like really pretty colors instead of just like gold and red and green or something, you know? They made them really pretty. Niha Mayuga. Niha Mayuga. Is that right? Niha Maigua. No, that's not right. Niha Mayuga. Nihamayu. Nehemiah? He's laughing at me. I'm sorry, I'm trying. Nehemiah. 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 Is that right? Nehemiah. Nehemiah. Oh, Nehemiah. Oh, like Nehemiah. Isn't that a biblical name? That's what I thought. Nehemiah, you sound like you might be in Booger Hollow. I need to put Booger Hollow on the next poll. You're a newbie. Well, welcome in, Nehemiah. Hi. And we have a story called Booger Hollow, and the people in it are from, like, they were original settlers, and everybody always says that their names are like Jedediah, Nehemiah, like stuff like that. So I was just joking, but I like your name. It's very cool. And welcome to the porch. And also welcome in if you are new here. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 1 in the morning, sometimes later. What does it say, Kevin? Farewell is your real name. Nehemiah, you wouldn't happen to be on Rumspringa, are you? Just kidding. Dova, thank you so much. And Levi, thank you. Jennifer. I live near Amish people. Sorry, guys, that's an Amish joke. Rumspringa. He's like, on Rumspringa, I'm using TikTok, motherfuckers. Technology, here I come. I'm just kidding. My name is Devin. Welcome in, Nehemiah. One of the coolest names I've heard in a while. You saw an Appalachian named Charmy May, and I was like, okay, why do I love that? Yeah, Robin, some of the names, I'll tell you what. I had forgotten, and I went to my friend's baby shower in South Carolina, and the names, one lady's name is Tootsie, and I kept calling her Tootsie, and my friend pulled me aside and was like, girl, you're calling her a fart. I was like, what? She's like, her name's Tootsie, not Tootsie. It's Tootsie, not Tootsie. And I was like, oh, I'm calling her like Tootsie Roll. So, and then my one friend's grandma, her name was Rabbit. And I'm not kidding. Her name was Rabbit. Yeah, Tootsie Roll. I was like, oops. I'm calling her Toot. I'm like, what up, Toot? Let's get to this dance floor. Like, shit. Yeah, her name was Rabbit. And we never understood. I still don't. Rabbit Winston. After the Winston cigarette family. And yeah, I'm not kidding. I grew up in North Carolina. All right, you guys, I'm going to set up the next poll for us to vote for the next story. So sit back and relax. Grab a beanbag chair. Yes, I did, Wilkins. I grew up in North Carolina. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock. Check out the shooting stars. Sit back and relax, and welcome to the porch. What part of North Carolina, Wilkins? I grew up in the Piedmont Triad. The foothills. Thank you, Jack Sparrow. Welcome to the porch. Also, while I set up the next poll, if you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? There is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs and it helps us grow our beautiful porch. Be right back with the next poll. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Wilkins. Thanks, Jennifer. Thank you, Nehemiah. We're about to vote on the next story if you want to stay. Jennifer, thank you for the camping tent. I love it. Kay Ray, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Lana, thank you for the cozy cryptids. Iacona, thank you for the cozy cryptids. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. Seahorses, I love them. Thank you for the sky eagle, Levi. Thank you for the seahorse. Seahorse, see hell. Having a seahorse party? Who didn't invite me? Thank you, Levi. I appreciate that so much. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready, and we have Route 666. We have the Booger Hollow. Wilkins gets it. Drinking out of cups, being a bitch. We have Mothman. We have Hide Behind featuring Jade. And we have the Bell Witch featuring all the spooky bookies. Route. I know. I don't like saying route because it's actually not the correct word. It's actually only because of that song that they have now, like socially, people say route when referring to a highway number only. And then the rest of the time when referring to transportation, it's a route. So route is literally just because of the song, and I've just never said it that way. I've always said route. So route is it's so hard for me to stick to because it's actually not correct, but it is now because, you know what I mean? It's become socially acceptably correct, but it wasn't, so it's confusing because you're only supposed to say it before numbers, and then the rest of the time you say route. So yeah, so that's why he's making fun of me because I keep going back. I did research on it to make sure, and yeah, I always say route too, but only with the highway numbers you're supposed to say route, just when you're referring to the number of the highway. And then the rest of the time, if you're like, they did repairs on the route, it's called the route. It's just only with the letters or with the numbers, which is super weird. I know, I always say route too, but I checked it out first to make sure, and it's Route 666. I'm like, what the? He had Justin a root canal. And it's all because that guy in the song. Why would he say route? Bro, just say Route 66. Like, you could still get your kicks on a route. They say route in New Jersey. You know, that doesn't surprise me for some reason. But anyway, we've got Route 666, Booger Hollow, the Mothman, Hide Behind, and the Bell Witch. Wait, what? Root means to sleep with someone in Australia? Really, Liv? Like, I just rooted the shit out of him. Like, right, Jennifer? I mean, you can. Not the boogers. Yeah, the boogers. All right, guys. Here we go. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box. You can vote up to 50 times. And you can vote for more than one story. We have Route 666, The Devil's Highway. We have Booger Hollow. We have The Mothman. We have The Hide Behind, featuring Jade. And we have The Bell Witch, featuring the Spooky Bookies. Yeah, Lana, I guess it really is. Oh, thanks, Wilkins. I bring it out randomly. I used to be a news reporter, so I'm like trained not to have it, but I still bust it out. You vote in the top left-hand corner, Dova. There's a blue box, but it's only 2 minutes, so get to voting, get to clicking, get to clicking. Kimberly, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. You're not kidding, Matt. I had to change the way I said everything. Shoot. And the winner is the Mothman. Hi, JR. Welcome in. The winner is the Mothman. My favorite cryptid, also known as the Zaddy of the cryptids. Why do I call him that, you ask? Well, if you don't know, give it a quick Goog and check out the Mothman statue in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Make sure you get a front shot of and the back shot of the statue, and then you'll understand. He's the most caked out of the cryptids. And yes, I even made a Zaddy sticker for him. Yay, Mothman won, Taylor. And Oh So Ordinary. You guys both wanted Mothy. I've seen it in person as well, Zach, several times. People leave him cans of beans. Why, I don't know, but there were lots of cans of baked beans every time I've been there. Maybe he likes musical fruit, who knows? Matt, did you go to school for broadcast too? Did they make you get rid of your accent? Because I went to broadcast school in the north and they were like, what the fuck is that? Immediately no. And I had to literally like fix that shit fast. Because I didn't even think I had an accent. I was like, no, I don't. Shoot, I don't know what you're talking about. Hell. And thank you, Dova. The chat is flying. I'm trying to keep up, but if I miss your comments tonight, you guys, sorry. It stems from miners cooking beans around campfires and moths coming to the flame. Really, Bryce? I didn't know that. Thank you. That's really cute. Thank you. That's helpful. I never knew that. But that would make sense because there are lots of miners in were lots of miners in West Virginia too. So thank you. Also, Robin, me too. I hear it in my sleep. I hear it everywhere. Also, Kim, are you going to a powwow? Is that what I'm seeing in the chat? Because that sounds amazing and you need to go live or like post pictures in the Discord or something. I really want to see it. I would. That sounds so cool. What tribe are you from? I know it's powwow season. I know they have a powwow here, right near where I took you guys the other day, and it's for the I think it's the Woodland powwow. Takina, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Yeah, Texans don't, Rachy. Texas is different. It's not really, it's more like the Southwest. It's not really it's different. Because like I would say people in Kansas have a stronger accent than a lot of people in Texas. But like, you know what I mean? Like in Arizona, it's more like that. Like you don't imagine people in Arizona having a Southern accent, but that's in the South too. Do you know what I'm saying? So Texas is kind of more like that. It's because when I lived in Houston, nobody had accents except for guess who? When the rodeo came to town and the cowboys came to town, because they live in the cut, and everywhere in the country people have an accent. It doesn't matter where you live. Like my uncle used to live in it. My uncle and my mom grew up in Indiana in the cut, and then like rural on a farm, and my uncle sounded like this, and he's from Indiana. So that accent is more a rural accent, in my opinion. So if you were to visit pretty much anywhere rural, I can't say that for New England because I've never been to rural New England. I doubt they have that accent there, but I don't know. Because I bet you in Pennsylvania they do. Your sister, she's from Houston. Yeah, Houston has like no accent. The only time I ever encountered people that had accent were when the cowboys came to town for the rodeo every year, which I didn't mind. Oh, you like the new banners? Thanks, CJ. You do in PA too? See, that's what I thought. Yep. Rural accents are what we call Southern accents, but they're actually kind of rural. There are differences in the Southern accents. Like the Appalachian one is very different from coastal Southern. And I feel like if you're from the South, you can tell that we have different, like someone from Mississippi has a very different accent than, well, I guess not. Leslie's accent's pretty close to the one I grew up with. Oh, Rachy, you know what's funny is I spent my 20s in LA and I have a mix of that too. People say that all the time because my voice is very monotone as well. And I say like a lot. And I picked up a lot of that because I spent my whole 20s there. And so I do have a bit of the mix of the bitchy California Valley mixed with the Appalachian. Yeah, yep, Rachel, yep. And people pointed out, because I've lived everywhere. And again, I had to take correction classes, like diction classes, and they pointed out all the things I said wrong. And so I'm very aware, and I have very much a California accent as well. Yeah, like, oh my God, whatever. And you've heard me say that. I say that all the time. I'm like, yeah, okay. And like I said the other day, preach. I was like, preach. Like, that's such a Malibu fucking slang. Thank you, Kate, for the rainbow slide. Yes, Dova, thank you. My parents are both from Indiana. And I have a very odd mix. I was a news reporter, so I had non-regional diction, but I do have a mix of accents. I've lived a lot of places. Yeah, Rachie, people say that to me too. Yeah, oubliette, James. I love that word. Okay, where in Indiana are you from? Do you eat Wiener Schnitzel, pork tenderloin sandwiches? Because they're my favorite. You have a mixed one, Resi and Texan. Resi, I love that voice, and I'm so curious, like, because I just love, like, dialects and diction and, like, learning languages. Like, when I lived in Houston, the funniest thing to me is that no one in Houston pronounces H's, and they don't realize it. And they're like, yes, we do. I'm like, you literally call it Houston. Sounds like you're saying a Y. And, like, Whataburger is Whataburger. They're just, like, no H's because it used to be Mexico. And no one wants to admit that they partially speak Spanish because guess who doesn't pronounce hard H's? People who speak Spanish. So I find dialects fascinating. And I'm so curious why, the Whataburger. Whataburger? I thought they were saying water burger when they asked me if I wanted to go the first time. I was like, ew, that doesn't sound very... And then I looked at the sign, it's what a burger. I'm like, why are you saying it like that? But they straight up just omit H's for zero reason. It's so cute. I'm like, dude, I had to interview the head of the Department of Transportation or something in Texas one time, and he had such a thick accent. Like, well, in Houston, we pride ourselves in Houston. And I've never heard somebody not pronounce H more blatantly than that in my life. I was like, wow. And when I lived in Colorado, I learned that it's Colorado, not Rado. And everybody told me to stop saying Rado. And I was a news reporter there, so I had to say Rado. Colorado. Like rad, dude. Colorado. So I have had to learn how to say a lot of things differently. Yeah, humble. That's what they call it. They don't call it humble, Robin. They still don't. When I was a news reporter and I had to report on that place, we had to say humble. It's literally spelled like humble, but the city is called Humble. The mayor calls it Humble. And nobody talks about it. And everybody's like, oh, what? I'm like, they don't pronounce H's. It's so funny. So what I wanted to know, Brooke Whitney, is I find it so interesting how most Native Americans that I've heard, it doesn't matter what tribe they're from, all over the country have this similar cadence. And I know you know what I'm talking about. They have a similar, like, inflection or something, right? And is that what you're talking about when you say you have a res accent? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, thank you, Rock. Appreciate it. You never heard the word what? Bruh? Lady Rose? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, Rochelle. Yeah, you're right. You have one too. When you moved away, you lost it. Kim. Okay, so is that is that like the accent you're referring to? Like you guys mean when you say you have a res accent? Is it like the that cadence that's very distinctively like indigenous to America? So like, Wanable Naji Woodchuck is my name and has. Yeah, I know the cadence. Yep. Okay, because I follow this really sexy indigenous man. My God. And the way he talks, I'm like, And he has that accent. He's like, I don't know, man. Well, you know, and like he has a very, okay, I said it perfectly. Okay, perfect. Because I love it. And I love it. And I find it fascinating to watch and listen to. And I'm like, man, I love that. I love the cadence to it. It's a beautiful way to speak. Oh, thanks, guys. Thanks. That means a lot. So I just think it's very cool and interesting. He says McDonald's and chimichanga. Oh, God, who? Who, Matt? Okay, Zoot Zoot. I'll see you later. I hope you have a good night. I'm glad you came in. It's nice to see you. I married my husband because he was indigenous. I knew my kids would be gorgeous. Yeah, this dude, I'm not even kidding, is probably one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen in my life. And every time I go into his live, I feel like a teenage girl. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm like, and like everything he says, I'm like, you're so cute. Like, I can't even, like, I don't even know what's wrong with me. And like, when I came in like the first time ever, because he followed me first, and I was like, oh my God. And so I went into his live and he's like, hey, Porch. And I was like, oh my God, hi. He said, hey, Porch. And I'm like, ooh, hi. Hi, Bibby. Welcome in. Thank you so much. Welcome to the porch. Yeah, and they call everybody auntie and uncle, and he calls himself Unc. But he's very sexy too because his brother passed away unexpectedly in like a car accident or something. No. His brother passed away because of substances. And he took his two boys who were like teenagers. And homeboy's like not even that old. And so he like raises, but he calls himself their Unc, but he like raises, I don't know, he's just really hot. And he's obsessed with his dog. He's got long braids, and I don't even like guys with long hair. I'm like, why is that hot on him? Why is that so hot on him? Yeah, I agree. The Hawaiian culture, the men there are also quite the same vibe. My friend had a Samoan boyfriend for 7 years, and he was very similar. Brooke, it's probably the same guy. Is he gorgeous? Does his name start with a T? Does he live near you? Yeah, they all do. But the thing is I've never been into long hair. Yep, girl, that's who I'm talking about. He is fine. Anyway, I never like long hair on guys. And his is like, I'm like, okay, you pull it off. I still don't want it in my face when I'm sweating, but you pull it off. Thanks for the follow, Rob. Welcome to the porch. Taylor, how far do you live from there? Hi, Lost Sister. Welcome in. Hi, Darren. Welcome back. Yeah, also, I don't know who you think you are telling me to move on in my own life, but that's not the look, buddy. Don't do it again. Oh my God, Deborah, no way. In Wheeling, it's so close. Hi, Jared from Alabama. We just did a story about Alabama. Oh, you're from Collier, West Virginia. Cool. Right, Squeaks? I know. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Zaddy. Thank you, Amy. Thanks, Kate. Oh my God, Amy, thank you for the camping. And Jake, thanks for the hand hearts and the fireworks. Teresa, thank you for the mushrooms. Those mushrooms crack me up. Well, don't worry. All my stories are on my YT channel and all the podcast sites too, so you can listen to it. There's one about Hug and Molly, and there's the Alabama Mud People. Thank you, Bryce, for the corgi. Awesome, Melody. I live a couple hours from there. Thank you, Pakna. Thank you, Luigi. Good night. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Amy. Thanks, Lost Sister. Taylor, thank you for the clutch. Thank you, Jade. Ears of Steam. I love that, and I want to know the name of the book, please. It's called Sweet Berries. That's hilarious, dude. I feel like that makes it even funnier. Are the sweet berries his red glowing eyes? Thank you, Bryce. Thank you, Bisbee. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the detour. Live, it's starting. So I've been doing solo road trips since I was an emancipated 17-year-old whose parents lived in Ohio while I was still finishing high school in North Carolina. I've become very comfortable being on the road alone, and I honestly almost prefer it at this point. Just me and the miles ahead of me, the windshield sunset in my eyes, like a watercolor painted sky. Well, last September, I was driving from Ohio to Virginia, avoiding highways because if I have the time and it's not too many added miles, I really do love to take the scenic route. All the tiny towns just have so much character, and it's just peaceful country cruising without another car for miles. It truly is a serene way to road trip. But it can also have its downsides, like taking you a little further away from cell towers, which can cause your GPS to glitch, like mine did, right around the Ohio-West Virginia border. My GPS ended up spazzing out and rerouting me to some back roads that I didn't recognize. These roads looked like they hadn't been paved in forever. And that's how I ended up in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Cute name, right? Sounds like a Hallmark movie. But the second I crossed that welcome to Point Pleasant sign, my car started making this gurgling noise like it was choking. I pulled over into a gas station with a flickering neon logo. Mothman Gas & Co. Real subtle. I called AAA, but the guy said that it would be 6 hours. What? 6 hours? It didn't even take the tow truck driver from Vegas to come get us in Death Valley 6 hours. The sun was already dipping behind the hills, and the only motel in town had a sign that read, "No vacancy." So there I was, a stranger in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia, sitting on a curb outside a gas station. And that's when I realized I actually had cell service again. So I decided to Google Point Pleasant. And there it was. Endless websites describing Point Pleasant, the Mothman, red eyes, wings, a bridge collapse, UFOs, and all kinds of strange encounters and conspiracies. And I was stranded here, alone. The cashier inside the gas station sold Mothman-shaped cookies and I Love Cryptid t-shirts. I bought a coffee that tasted like motor oil and I asked if there was a library or something nearby to kill time. She pointed down the road and told me to follow the river. And then she told me not to linger after dark. Okay. The library was closed, of course. So I did linger. Yes, I did. And I wandered toward the river, past the bridge. The Ohio River looked black, swallowing up what was left of the daylight. It was pretty much completely dark now, and there were no streetlights down by the river, so it was dark. All I could hear was the sound of the water and this strange humming, almost like a transformer about to blow. I turned back toward town and the street was completely empty. No cars, no people. And now even the gas station lights were off. Panic started to creep in. And that's when I saw something rising out of the weeds. They were concrete bunkers. The haunting remains of World War II. They were the ones used as TNT storage areas and were actually considered ground zero for Mothman sightings. Well, since my curiosity is insatiable, I love a good adventure, I decided just to check them out really quickly. The first bunker had graffiti. A winged figure with red eyes. Cute. As I walked up to the second one, the beam of my inadequate flashlight caught the graffiti that read, "Beware the bird." Funny. And then a sound. Not an owl, not a deer. It was a low, vibrating hum. It almost sounded like power lines buzzing, and the hair on the back of my neck stood up. I turned, and there in between the trees were two glowing red lights. Then I started to realize they weren't lights, they were eyes, glowing like hot coals. They hovered 7 feet off the ground at least, and then it stepped forward. It was tall, 7 feet maybe, with hunched bony shoulders and skin like wet charcoal. And wings, but not bird wings and not really bat wings either. Something in between, folded tight against its spine. And those eyes, they glowed, not like reflectors, but like they were lit from the inside. I turned and I ran. Branches clawed at my arms, slowing my escape. I tripped over some roots and tore my jeans, but I didn't care. The buzzing sound followed behind me, vibrating in my skull. But I didn't dare to look back until my feet hit that paved road. And when I quickly glanced back, I saw the creature was now on the bridge. Perched on the railing, head tilted to one side, looking at me almost like a curious dog. Then he spread his wings, and they were 10 feet wide easily. And then it let out a horrifying screech that sounded like a train braking. I ran all the way back to my car at the gas station, jumped in, and I locked the doors. AAA finally showed up at midnight. The tow truck driver didn't even ask why I was shaking. He just nodded when I mentioned that I had seen something odd by the river. He told me that I was the third highway traveler that week to somehow get rerouted to Point Pleasant and end up stranded right at sunset. I slept in my car in the parking lot of the auto shop until it opened in the morning. After an inspection, the mechanic found nothing wrong. My car started up and ran like it never even had a problem. As I got back on the highway, I noticed something in my passenger seat. It was a feather, black and thick as my thumb. It could have just been from a crow that blew into my car during my road trip, right? Maybe I'm just overreacting. Or did the Mothman leave me some kind of peace offering? He clearly didn't want to hurt me, or he absolutely could have. I know I never could have outrun him if he'd actually been hunting me. And to be honest, he almost seemed sad that I turned and ran away from him. Even though I was scared out of my mind, I oddly felt bad for the creature. I really have no idea what I encountered that late night in West Virginia. And I'll probably never be able to confirm what it was. But am I going to take this feather somewhere to have it tested? You bet I am. And that's the tale of the detour. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep better. No Venus, I'll look. Thank you, Wilkins. And I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. You can also listen to all of my stories anytime you want, back to back to back, on my Bedtime Stories playlist on my YT channel. You can hit shuffle or play all, and you will just hear them all uninterrupted back to back. Also, they are all available on the podcast streaming sites. Also, all of the recordings to my lives go straight onto my YT after they end. So if you miss something or come in the middle and want to hear the joke or whatever, they are all available over there too. Thanks, Squeaks. Hi, Mary. Matt. Hi, Dallas. All right, you guys. Oh, thank you so much, Taylor, for the flower. All right, you guys, I will be right back with the next poll for us to vote. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax, check out the shooting stars, and welcome to the porch. Skrilla, that's right. I tried to pin it and it wouldn't approve it. Skrilla said, coming in the middle is Justin's dancer name at the Twinkie bar. Good night, lost sister. Sweet dreams. Dude, toaster, I didn't know what you meant by food stuff. Because you know that's like an actual thing is foodstuffs or whatever. And I was like, what? But you meant good stuff. Skrilla really hit a home run with that one. Everyone in the chat is just losing it. That was so good. I wish it would let me pin it. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. And I just got a puzzle piece, of course. Good luck, Wolf King. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. Hi, Yazzie. Yes, you can find me. Just look for Porch Lore. Hi, Alyssa. Yeah, Yazzie, I'm on YT and all of the podcast streaming sites. And there's a playlist. If you go to Bedtime Stories playlist, you can just hit shuffle or play all, and it'll be all these stories anytime you want. All right, you guys, we have the next poll, and it is Route 666. The Selkies, the Hide Behind, Paint Blue, and the Fresno Nightcrawlers. We have Route 666 featuring Skrilla, the Twinkie joke man. We have the Selkies from Ireland. We have the Hide Behind featuring Jade, who I think she's still here, right? We have Paint Blue. And we have the Fresno Nightcrawlers featuring Suzanne. You can vote in the blue box in the top left-hand corner if you're on TT. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Who's it going to be, you guys? We have Route 666, the Selkies, the Hide Behind, Paint Blue, and the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Skrilla, it's the best joke you've told so far. I think the entire chat laughed. So if they were new, yeah, I want to be like the guy you just laughed at about the Twinkie. Lacey, just scroll out and come back in. It's been happening to people tonight. Thank you, Wilkins. And guess what? It still didn't make a difference because they apparently hate Skrilla's story. Poor Skrilla. It's the new story of the week, and it only won once. Rich, that countdown is the box. Just click on the countdown. Maybe it's just having a glitch with the graphic. Yeah, I guess you're right, Skrilla. I guess you're right. And if you can't see the poll, maybe try updating the app too. I don't know. It's been really weird lately, but yeah, that's what I was thinking, Rachie, is it just, I think a lot of y'all might need to update your app. There was an update recently and now everything's different. So yeah, people are having issues, Skrilla, so I'm going to blame it on that too, because a lot of people didn't even vote. So clearly there's something going on because it doesn't even look like very many people voted. But the winner is The Hide Behind featuring Jade, and I don't even think she's here anymore. Be right back. That's so weird, Bisbee. How stupid. Good night, Brooke. Sweet dreams. We love you. We'll see you in the morning. I mean, we'll see you tomorrow night. Not in the morning. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you. Oh, so very ordinary for the 100 and the cute star. Yeah, shops, it gets on all of our nerves. It's just whack. I know. There's an update constantly. It's like maybe it's just so annoying. Yeah, see you in the nighttime, Brooke. I was like, good night, see you in the morning. Hi, Evan. Hi, Evan. Guys, Evan, my crystal guy's here. Follow his page. He'll take you shopping in China. He's amazing. I love him so much. He's the sweetest heart ever. Ever. Follow him. He is just a doll, and he goes on after me, and he's just the sweetest. He's such a good friend and a lovely human being. And he takes us to cool markets, and he's just the best. So please follow him. He's a doll. And he's like in his 20s, and he's just very sweet, and he's actually has a wonderful eye for things. He's very good at shopping, and love him. Skrilla, please. I have the newest version. I just updated it today. Thanks, guys. Yeah, he's a lot of fun. His lives are very fun. Hi, Sherry. If everybody wants to mass invite Jade right now so that she knows her story is the one, last time she missed it and she was super sad. Thank you, Evan. You're so sweet. Thanks, Evan. Skrilla with her pangling. Thank you, Evan. Jade, are you back? Is she back? Alright, she's back. Your story won, bitch. Just kidding, I love you, no bullying. I'm not bullying, I love you. I forgot when I jokingly call my friends that. TikTok is mad. Okay, quick swig and I'll be right back with the tale of the stillness in the cedars, also known as the hide behind. Skrilla was right, she said. Hi, Jotanya. Say what in Pig Latin, Rachie? Hi, happily. Justice for Jade. I liked the one where it was the story where Jade whines about her foot. You were so mad when I called it that. Oh, TikTok. Got it. So what's bitches say? Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the stillness in the cedars. That would be Itches Bay. Sorry, it's been a long time, guys, since I've done Pig Latin. Itches Bay. Yeah, Itches Bay? Nobody's gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm not doing that. Yeah, Justin, we might need to. I'm about to roll up with my baseball bats if he doesn't chill out. William, you're 110 years old? That's amazing. That's very cool. Welcome to the live. Hi, Queen Lakota. You live on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Cool. If anybody wants to come over to YT and say hi to William, he is 110 years old and he's hanging out with us in the chat. He is from Cape Cod. Cape Cod must be the place to live then, huh? Storm strokes with million. Is that code? Are you coming in here and dropping a code? Am I supposed to know what that means? Do I need to meet you at the docks? Do I need to get on a certain plane? Do I need to go to a Foot Locker? Do I need to go to one of those lockers with the hidden key and there'll be a plane ticket and a fake passport for me? And I just need to say storm strokes with million. And then they'll be like, all right, it's you. Is that it, Fuzz? Just wondering. Storm strokes with million. Yeah, 110. I'm amazed. That's amazing. And he's on YT chatting it up. Like, okay, William, that's amazing. Goals. Except for, I don't know. By 110, I feel like you'd just be like, what the hell? Like the shit he's seen, he's probably like, my God. Storm strokes was my answers. Sounded like some secret code, like storm strokes in the rain at midnight. Meet me at the docks, 3 a.m. Hi, real Rachel. Hi, Ski. Oh, hi, Sherry. Yeah, say hi to William, everybody. He's in the chat over there. He's from Cape Cod. He's a new porch pal, and he's 110. And I think that's pretty cool. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the stillness in the cedars. Oh, now he said the goon goon. Is that more code words, Foz? The goon goon. My new Indian name is Storm Strokes. I kind of love that, actually. I used to be a storm chaser, so that's perfect. Thank you, Anton. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Rachel. Jade, I went to the chiropractor today and it was amazing. My chill vibe said storm strokes and her sidekick, the goon goon. I love you guys for trolling the trolls with me. It's very fun. It's very delightful. Robin, thank you so much for the cute bird. Swifty, welcome in. Skrilla who? Hi, Steven. Thank you, Swifty. I grew up thinking I knew what silence sounded like. It was the hush that followed snowfall, or the way the woods paused at dusk before the crickets began. But the silence I met in the Oregon Coast Range wasn't peaceful. It felt like something else. Yes, Mary, anxiously awaiting. I came there late in the season, chasing the remains of a vanished town called Brookmere. A place wiped from maps after a landslide in 1924. My research was on forgotten logging camps and how they disappeared and what they left behind. Our code word is diatomaceous earth. Why? Oh, here we go. He's got one. Faust says, the wind. This is fun, Faust. I hope you follow me so you can come back and do this again. The wind. Wind sandwich. The archives had one photograph. Now he's just fucking with us and it's great. The archives had one photograph. A dozen men in suspenders, standing beside a cedar as wide as a boxcar. Behind them, the forest was already trying to swallow the mill. My good friend Jade lives outside Portland. So, she decided to meet up with me for the adventure. And we hit the road, James. The Oregon Coast Range has a smell that never leaves your clothes. The scent of wet bark, rust, and salt from the Pacific pushing through every crack in the mountains. It rains there in ways that erase boundaries. And after 3 days in, every step squelched. Justin. The trail, if you could call it that, was a faded survey line. Jade told me that the old loggers had a legend in these parts, and they called it the hide behind. A creature that lived in the cedars, always out of sight, feeding on men who strayed too far from camp. They said it moved faster than the human eye could track, slipping behind the nearest trunk each time you would turn around. It left no tracks, no bones, only an absence that smelled like rot and sawdust. We told ourselves it was probably just folklore born from too many nights with too much whiskey. But once we were in that dripping green labyrinth, I caught myself glancing behind every few steps. By the fourth day, the rain turned violent. The temperature dropped 20 degrees in an hour, and the wind came up the gorge like a freight train. Jade and I agreed that we couldn't make it back to the car before dark. Our map showed a fire watch cabin that was built in the 1930s. It was a mile off the trail near the ridge. If it was still standing, it would most likely be dry. So we followed the map, desperate for shelter. The hike there felt wrong. The forest wasn't swaying with the wind. It was bracing against it. Even Rachel's laughing. The cedars leaned inward and their crowns knit into a ceiling that blocked out the gray sky. Moss hung like soaked wool, and every gust brought down needles and sheets. When we finally saw the cabin, it barely looked like a structure. Just a shadow of timbers, the roof sagging under years of rain. Jade pushed the swollen door open. Inside, it smelled of mildew. Someone had left a rusted stove, bunk beds, and a shelf of water-swollen logbooks. The roof leaked, but only in a few thin streams. I lit a small lantern from my pack and I spread out my sleeping bag on the top bunk. Oh, boo. B-O-U. Bow. Boo. Boo-you. The rain on the roof was a steady roar. Jade and I decided we'd just stay one night and we could hike back down in the morning. And that was when we heard the first knock. Not thunder, not a branch, a deliberate tap. Near the back wall, like knuckles on wood. We froze, waiting for a second, but there was nothing. And then the wind rose again, and we both decided it must have been a branch shifting. But an hour later, Matt. But an hour later, came another sound. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't. I did. I muted the mic. I can't. Also, we got a new code word, cold sunshine. Cold sunshine sounds like Colorado. Hi, HC. Welcome in, perfect timing. They just made me break in the middle of a story. All right. But an hour later came another sound. Footsteps, soft but heavy, circling the cabin. I held my breath. There shouldn't have been anyone out there. The nearest road was like 10 miles away. And then the steps stopped at the door. I killed the lantern and the rain went on. Louder now until the roof rattled. Aw, thanks, Queen Lakota. My ears rang from the pressure of listening, and we laid in our bunks, frozen and terrified in the dark. When nothing else happened, we must have dozed off. And then at some point, Deep into the night, a crash jolted both of us awake. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, Millie. Jade screamed, and we both looked at the back window, which had burst inward. Shards of glass glittered on the floor in the lantern light. Wind poured through, carrying cedar needles and the smell of rot. There was something stuck to the frame. A strip of bark peeled as thin as skin and curled inward like a hand. I told myself it must have blown loose from a tree. I told myself anything to stay calm, and I packed my gear. But when I turned to grab my jacket, Jade was frozen in terror, staring at what appeared to be wet footprints. They were on the floorboards leading from the window toward the door. They were bare and way too long. They stopped halfway across the room. We looked at each other and we bolted. Outside, the storm had eased into a thick mist that moved between the trees. Our headlamps caught only the trunks, endless and slick. And every time I looked left or right, there was motion at the edge of my sight. Thank you, Queen Lakota. Something was shifting just beyond our inadequate beams of light. I began counting steps to keep from panicking. And that's when I realized the forest had gone completely still. No rain, no wind, no insects. And then the smell hit us. Wet cedar and iron. Ahead, a hollow opened into the trees where the fog pooled like water. In the clearing stood the remains of Brookmere. Only the sawmill's foundation survived. Stones half buried in moss. The rest mere outlines, mounds where cabins once stood, rusted saw blades. In the center rose a single cedar stump taller than me, its heart split by lightning. Thank you, Lola. Hi, Lemons. Something moved behind it. I saw only a flash. It was pale with smooth flesh. And then it was gone. Replaced by the trunk. I love you. I can't believe you're up. I love you, Lemons. Good night. Thanks for coming in. I love you. The air trembled with a faint vibration, like a breath sucked through wood. I stepped backward, accidentally stepping onto Jade's foot, and we both screamed. We were both on edge. Oh, Fowls, you're leaving? Oh no. Fowls, don't leave. We love your code words. Please stay. Then another flash, this time on the opposite side. The thing was circling us. But it was staying hidden by the trees, always just beyond sight. Jade looked at me with growing concern. Ragey. Jade looks at me with growing concern and stutters. I think it's the hide behind. The story said if it caught you in full view, it killed you. Maybe that was superstition, and maybe not. But neither of us wanted to wait to test it out. So we turned and we ran as fast as we could without tripping. The forest didn't seem to have directions anymore. Each trunk kind of looked the same. The mist folded sound, so our own footsteps sounded like they came from everywhere. I ran until my lungs burned, and then I stumbled into another clearing, smaller, ringed with fallen logs. At the center stood an old logging skid, chains still wrapped around a buried axle. Hanging from one chain was a shape I thought was canvas until it moved. It was a coat, a human's coat, rotted through, the fabric stiff with age, and beneath it, bone gleamed. My stomach turned. Someone had died here long ago, left hanging when the crew fled the landslide. The bones clattered softly as the wind returned, and I felt silence break open behind me. I didn't have to look to know that it was there. I caught a glimpse over my shoulder, an arm, elongated and jointless, sliding back behind a tree trunk. Every instinct said to run downhill. Water finds the road, and the road would find us safety. Oh, he's still here. He's still here. Yay, the huckleberry. The huckleberry. We barreled through undergrowth until we saw the faint glow of my car's reflectors through the fog. The shape behind us moved in rhythm with our motion each time, vanishing as I turned. When we reached the car, I didn't stop to look back. We just piled into it and we were off. I drove until daylight hit the windshield. When we finally reached the ranger station, the man on duty stared when I handed over the coordinates. He told us that the fire watch cabin had collapsed 10 years ago and the road beyond had been closed since the landslide. He must have seen my hand shaking because he poured us some coffee and asked us what we had seen. We told him it was nothing, just a bad storm. But when Jade glanced down at her sleeve, there was a smear of sap across the fabric. Not amber or pine, but black and thick and still wet. That night we stayed in the motel just outside of Tillamook, and we woke to the smell of cedar. The curtain swayed even though the window was shut, and then suddenly we heard the faint, deliberate sound of knuckles on wood. And that's the tale of the stillness in the cedars, also known as the hide behind, featuring our beautiful Jade. Also, thanks for staying, Fowls. I kind of want your code words all the time now, so, that's what you get for being so funny. Justin, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries. So what do we have now? We have Storm. What was the first one? Storm something awesome. It was like the best one. Storm Stroker or something. Storm Stroker. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Is somebody keeping track of the words? Somebody needs to be keeping this list. Oh, wait, air sandwich. I thought it was an air sandwich. And the Boo Boo Cold Sunshine. Boo Boo and sandwich. These are great. This is fucking great, dude. What was the one about the storm? The first one he said about the storm stroker. That was my favorite because Lakota said that was my new native name. It was like storm strokes. Yeah, there we go. Storm strokes. Huckleberry and a wind sandwich down by the boo boo in the cold sunshine. Squeaks, I'm so glad your migraine was gone now. I think you can thank Faust for that. Yeah, wind sandwich, cold sunshine, boo, huckleberry. I like the boo boo one. I really want to know what that one is. Like that one's really like, what? After a night of storm stroking, I enjoyed a wind sandwich because I spent all my gas storm stroking. By the way, y'all, when I lost it over Matt's comment in that last story, the YT lost like 10 viewers because they can't see the comments that I'm laughing at. They were probably like, what the fuck? No, Matt, it was so funny. It's fine. It cracked me up. It was so good. Matt, thanks for the Viking hammer. That's so cool. I love that one. Thank you. That one's fun. Hi, Chedsy. Yeah, that was kind of cool, right? Oh, he says cold, got to go. Okay, Faust, I hope you come back again. I tried to follow you, but it wouldn't let me. But it says you're private, but you should come back again because this was fun. We're going to keep a list of all your code words and we're going to work them into sentences. Okay, boo boo? Go have a wind sandwich and enjoy some cold sunshine. We love you. Matt said cold, got to go as Justin Stormstriker name it the boo boo. This is so funny. Like, he's probably like Faust is probably like, what the hell live did I come into? What is wrong with these people? Yes, Millie, raccoons will eat anything. They love a lot of things. They'll eat your trash. Yes, Skrilla, it can be a multi-person activity. Speaking of storm stroking, I keep getting alerts on my phone that there's lightning in my area. So you guys, I'm about to get to stroke a storm right the fuck now after this story's over. I'll take some bread out there and I'll make a wind sandwich. I haven't heard of Jebelina. I haven't heard of the Zombieland. Chill, Chill vibes. Yes, welcome to the porch after dark, where we stroke storms and make wind sandwiches. And we love some cold sunshine. I'll be your huckleberry. Just kidding, no I won't. You need somebody else to be your boo-boo, because it ain't me. You like that, Raver? Oh, Skrill, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Faust. Squeaks, yeah. I hope the boo-boo wind sandwich man comes back too, Rachie. I tried to follow him and it says it's private because I think he's actually trolled that like had fun with us. I think he stayed because he was like, these people are weird. Because he tried to say got to go once and I begged him to stay and then he stayed for the whole story. And then he said, cold, gotta go. And I'm like, damn it. We kept him for a story though. We got him for a story. So maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll be like, that was fun. Maybe they've turned me away from trolling and I'll stay in this community and become a normal person who doesn't troll and I'll hang out with them. You know? Thank you. Thank you, Squeaks. That's what I like to do. And you can ask the Porch Pals. I've had several people that came in as trolls and have stayed. Matt's one of them. No, I'm just kidding. Junior was one of them. Yeah, my chill vibes for sure. Yeah, because we're not normal. But I also feel like if you can make people laugh, I feel like sometimes they're like, what am I even doing? Like, he was probably like, wait, these people are funny and nice. Like, you know? So when they come in just doing weird shit like that, I play with them. When they come in and tell me to hurry the fuck up, I don't play with them. I don't play with them. But when they come in and are just weird, I always try to, yeah. I'm like, hey, dude, that's cool. Tell me more about that. 300K, you guys tapping away tonight. Thank you. Thanks, Chedsy. By the way, in case you guys didn't know the fun story behind Chedsy Malone right here, she was one of the first people in my lives, like literally after my practice lives. There were like 4 people in my lives. Then there were like 10. Then there were like maybe 30. And she was always there. And she would sit in a guest box just to make it look like I had guests. Okay, she's a fucking real one, right? So thank you, Millie, because I used to do a panel of guests who would tell their spooky stories. So she'd sit up there and just fill a box so it looked like I had guests to be my friend, right? And so I'd hear her voice and I'd be like, you sound really familiar. Your voice just sounds familiar. And she never said anything. And she just thought I knew this whole time. But I found out, like, how long after was it, Chetzy? Like, it was like a while. Like, how long after? Like 6 months, 8 months? I found out that she's actually my friend off of TikTok who made a fake name and has been supporting me since day one. It was months. and I was like, and like I would always send her the live. She'd always send me funny messages, and like I was just like, this girl's so cool. I really like her. What a like amazing support. Like, she's so cool. And then one day she texts me, like, my friend that's not named Chedsy texts me. She's like, I had to drop out of the box because I had an emergency or something. And I was like, you're in the live? Wait, what do you mean you're in the live? I was like, you were in a guest box? Wait, what's your screen name? And she was like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm Chedsy. I was like, you're what? Because I had been like, your voice sounds so familiar. Yeah, and it's my favorite story I love her so much for it. It's my favorite thing of all time. She's also the person with me in the Deer Woman story. She said it was some Hannah Montana shit. It really was. And I was like, wait, let me get this straight. And then I couldn't get over, and I told a bunch of the other people, I was like, yo, Chedsy, isn't a real person. It's my friend. And they're like, wait, what? And then I was like, where'd you get the name? Because it's such a cool name too. And I was like, dude, like, yeah, I know. And I was like, what a good friend. I love her. So yeah, I feel like a lot of you guys have never heard that story because that was a long time ago when I first did my first live. And she was like there from day one. And I was like, man, this girl's really showing up for me. Like this random girl from TikTok. I know. And so I love you, Chelsea. Just a shout out again to Chelsea. And you guys know what time it is. It is grilled cheese time. Yeah, she said she genuinely thought I knew. And she kept commenting on my voice. Yeah. And I didn't. I was commenting on her voice because I genuinely was like, you sound so familiar. I wasn't like, wink, wink, wink. And she thought I was like, wink, wink, you sound familiar. I was really like, who are you? You sound familiar. And the reason she made a fake name is not to catfish me. It's because she has a job that she is not supposed to be doing, you know, the socials. So, like, she just doesn't want it to be found. So she made a fake name just to, you know, have a discreet account. And I was like, wait, oh my God. I actually, yeah, Rachie, I was actually born with strawberry blonde hair. So accurate. The name's from her dog Cheddar. But to me, it sounds like a gumshoe reporter or like a old film noir detective. It's Chudsy Malone. You see? And I don't want no criminals on my streets. I solve these crimes one by one. Good night, Jade. Love you. Good night, Sully. Good night, Cloud Dancing. Yeah, you see? I'm glad, Lakota. I'm glad you think it's fun and that I'm fun and not weird. All right, you guys, ready for the Sycamore Diner? Good night, Shells. Yes, it really has been, Matt. It's been a fun night. But I'm never going to get over your Adam Ball comment. Oh, really, Shelly? That's so cute. Is your hair auburn now? My chill vibes, you are cracking me up tonight. Oh my God, you're so funny. Free refills on cold sunshine and huckleberry juice. Oh, you did, Andrew? Rachie, were you? Me too, basically. But now it's like auburn. Thank you, She-Wolf. Thank you, Lola. Millie, thank you for the cozy cryptids. Aw, thank you, Shelley. That's so sweet of you. Love having you here. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Thank you, Bisbee. Thank you, Lola. Thanks to my chill vibes and She Wolf. I'm not usually the kind of person to pull over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, thank you guys for the cozy cryptids. Thank you, Lola. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. Trust it. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through. 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years, but the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and then get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm, and it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. Checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people, they all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet, like they weren't expecting me. Like I'd walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo, and a light blue uniform smiled and waved me over. "You get caught in the rain, sweetheart," she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. "Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers." I sat down at a corner booth, and the vinyl creaked. And I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal, sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard drinking coffee at the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes, like they were there but somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window and the storm was still going. But now, the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast. Too fast, like under 5 minutes, but it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries, with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect, and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. Old Earl. He's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered just once, and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. The jukebox buzzed, glitched and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music and not a storm. A voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. Just a whisper that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just the wind and rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty. No plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate, still warm and still half-eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette half lit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless, like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back, knocking over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. The others, they were waiting. But you just wandered in. She raised a hand and the walls began to shimmer. Literally, shimmer, like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled, and the red booths started to fade, becoming outlines, and then shadows, and then nothing. And then I saw it, underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second I was inside, and the next I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, pulled up with the ceiling missing, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No music. I know, I keep sneaking it in, Sherry. No music, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. Thanks, Sherry. I didn't tell anyone. Not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site, and I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight, and everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. Good night, Ness. The photo in the article. Same checkerboard floor, same red booths, same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little, because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn, that was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. And if you're new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you didn't get some good sleep, I actually don't know if my friend Lisa is doing the live after me or not. I didn't hear from her today, so maybe go check out Spooky Glasgow Girl. She might be live, and if not, head on over to my YT channel and go to the Bedtime Stories playlist, and you will be out like a light. I hope you guys get some wonderful sleep, and don't forget, stay spooky.